Hi, Meeple Watchers! I'm Frank.
And I'm Brandon.
And in today's video, we are going to share with you our top board games that we would recommend you give others as a gift during the holiday season. So we have played about 60 board games over the past year. We immersed ourselves into this hobby, and we would love to get more people interested in board games. And we know that if you're watching this, you probably have a penchant for board games and you're looking to maybe introduce some games to others, but you're not sure where to start, what they're going to be interested in. So we've compiled 7 games that we think would make an amazing gift no matter what type of person that you are giving the gift to. These are really games for people that aren't immersed in the hobby yet. We are not just going to share games that came out over the past year, just in general, games that we think would make an awesome gift if you're ever looking to share a little bit of the board game world with people that you love. So let's start by sharing our first recommendation.
All right, our first recommendation is Codenames.
Codenames.
This was created in 2015 and ranks overall 89 on Board Game Geek.
Yes, so we actually own Codenames. It was one of the first games that we purchased, and it is so fun. So basically, there are 2 teams, and you can play with just 2 people if you want, and there's 25 cards that are on the table, and each card has a word on it. And there's, on one person on the red team, there's a red team and blue team. One person on the red team is going to be the clue giver, just like on the blue team, and the clue givers, they know exactly which cards are their teams. So every card is either going to be a red team card or a blue team card, but the guessers, they don't know which cards are theirs or which cards are the other teams. So the person giving the clue has to look at the cards, knowing which cards are their teams, and give a clue that helps their team guess which cards to choose. But they cannot obviously share the actual word that's on the card. So if the card says boy, the clue giver cannot just say boy. But what you are supposed to do is creatively come up with some kind of term or phrase or a word that's parallel so that way your team would guess what it is. So for example, if there was a card that said boy and a card that said wizard and a card that said book, as the clue giver, I might think, okay, I'm gonna tell my team Harry Potter 3 to show that there's 3 cards out of the 25 that are related, all related to the term Harry Potter. And the team has to try to guess, and it's always tricky because you are trying to understand their minds and they're trying to understand your mind. So there's a lot of psychology that goes into this game. And there's also a hidden assassin card. So there's one assassin card. The team guessers, they don't know which one it is. Only the clue givers know. And if anyone guesses the assassin card, automatically game over and your team loses. So there's so much variety in this game. Every time you're gonna have 25 different word cards. There's different editions of this. And we just both absolutely have enjoyed Codenames, yeah?
Yes.
Cool, so that is our first recommendation. All right, so let's share our next one.
Our second one is Sushi Go.
Sushi Go!
This one was created in 2013.
Okay.
It's a card game again.
Yes, Sushi Go. So, adorable game. It's such a cute party game. It comes in this little tin container, and we don't own it yet, but it is a great game. I think you can play with a lot of people, and it's just a play and pass game. So you start out with a deck of cards, you keep one, you pass the rest, just like a conveyor belt of sushi. You're just keeping one, you're passing the rest. And there's all different types of like adorable little cartoon sushi icons on the cards. There's a wasabi card, there's chopsticks, there's maki rolls, there's nigiri, and you are trying to collect cards that would give you the most points. And it's easy enough where you can just, even if you don't know what you're doing, you can just keep a card and pass the rest, even if you think it's cute. So no matter who you are, you can just get into this game within minutes. And there's also a bit of strategy because if you collect certain types of cards, you could get more points. And I think that makes it really fun. Like if you get multiple of the same type of card, you could like double or triple the points you get, or you could lose points completely. So there's a fun component. The theme is absolutely adorable. If you love sushi, then you're probably gonna love Sushi Go. It's a really cute game. All right, so our next recommendation.
Our next one is Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride! Yes, we own this one. So this was one of the very first games that we decided to pick up. It is a game we consider to be one of our gateway games. and we have thoroughly enjoyed Ticket to Ride. The map of the board is an actual map of the United States. It's a massive board, and you and the other players, you are trying to build the longest railroad route across the United States to get as many points as possible. And there's all these cute little plastic train car pieces that you have. So the board comes to life as you play it, and you are trying to get the most points, but also connect certain cities together. So every player has a few destination ticket cards that are secret. No other player knows what it is. And for example, if you have a card that says New York to Los Angeles, then you want to try to connect the train cars from New York to Los Angeles to get bonus points at the end of the game. So the game keeps going until you run out of pretty much most of the train cars, and it's really fun. It's really fun because it's easy enough to just jump right into, but there's also a bit of strategy because you don't want to be overzealous and take too many of those destination ticket cards, because if you do not complete them, you end up losing whatever value the card has. So if you do not connect, let's say New York to Los Angeles, you could lose 20 points at the end of the game, which could really set you back. So really awesome game.
Yes, and I like to take that feature in there because say you're going from Los Angeles to New York, and say your opponent knows that now, they can go ahead and block your train route by putting their own train route in your destination.
Yeah, you could be kind of mean in this game, but overall it's just very lighthearted and fun. So Ticket to Ride, excellent choice to get someone who's might be curious to get a new game on the table.
Yes.
So our next one.
Next one is Pandemic.
Pandemic, yes. So Pandemic. Why is this a great gift option? Well, it doesn't really need much explanation given that we've been living an actual pandemic this year. But one of the other cool things about Pandemic is it is a cooperative game. So everyone's on the same exact team. So it can be a great game for a family to play together. And basically, everyone has a different special role. So someone might be a scientist, someone might be an operations specialist, someone might be a dispatcher. And you want to use each of your roles to your advantage, so that way you could really eliminate these diseases that have spread throughout the world. So there's four different diseases that are spreading around, and you're moving your token around different cities and trying to build research stations to then create cures and vaccines to eradicate these different diseases. Now, the game gets really interesting because every round every time it's someone's turn actually, you're gonna pull some city cards. And randomly inside the deck, there are what is it called?
Epidemic cards.
The epidemic cards, yes. These cards are a big pain in the butt because once you pull them, a certain city is going to spread the virus like crazy, and the virus could end up causing more outbreaks. And if you hit a certain number of outbreaks, it's game over. So you're trying to think ahead. You're trying to utilize each player's strengths to lower the chance of having too many outbreaks. And there's different levels of difficulty to the game too. So if you're looking for an easier version or a more advanced version, the game allows you to do that by putting a certain number of epidemic cards inside the deck. Super, super fun. So definitely check out Pandemic if you want a game that you'll appreciate. And also, it's just so timely. It's a very timely game to have in your collection.
Yes, we don't want to wave 3, so wear your masks.
Yes. All right, next one up.
Santorini.
Santorini, yes, I have that over here. So, boom, this is Santorini. Boom, boom, boom. We actually have a video of us teaching this game on our channel. It is a very cute, adorable, lighthearted game with a ton of strategy built into it as well. So I like to think of Santorini as chess 2.0 because it's similar in that you're just maneuvering a a pawn around a board, and you're just trying to achieve an objective. In this game, you are building up the city of Santorini, and you're trying to get your pawn on the 3rd level of the building. So this game is simple enough where on your turn, you're just moving and building. You move one space, and then you build on one of the adjacent spaces. However, what makes this game really interesting is that there's a deck of god and hero cards that come with the game. And every player is going to take one of those, and that becomes one of their special powers that they have throughout the game. And this will influence how someone could maneuver their piece around, or even what victory or win condition they have. So I think this, and I played chess quite a bit growing up, and chess can sometimes get really drawn out, it could get boring, you win the same way every single time. But Santorini, I think it just takes chess to a new level. It makes it simpler, but also still has that depth to it as well, because you could really try to think ahead and really try to outplay your opponent by anticipating what they're going to do. And it's just, the pieces are adorable, these little plastic pieces that you build up the city of Santorini as you go, and there are the blue dome pieces that go on top of it. So visually, it's a beautiful game. And it's one that whenever you see on the table, you're just drawn to. You want to know what it is. You want to play it. So Santorini, highly recommend to get as a gift.
Yeah, I like those games that are visually appetizing, or right?
Yeah.
Because you have an island, and then you actually build that island up in order to play on like the chess top.
Yeah. I just realized it was created by a doctor, Dr. Gordon Hamilton. Okay, doctor, great job. Love that. All right, and our next one.
Our next one is 7 Wonders Duel.
7 Wonders Duel. All right.
Yes, this one was created in 2015 and overall ranks number 17.
Yeah. Well deserved. Well deserved. This is such a great game. This is, since it's dual, it's a game for 2 players. So I would say that this one is a game for a couple that maybe likes strategy games already. It's not a difficult game, but it's also not the lightest game. It's kind of a moderate in the middle. And it's really fun because there's many different ways that you could win. So basically, you are trying to make your civilizations the strongest, and there are 7 civilization cards or pieces, mats, right? And throughout the game, you are trying to acquire resources to activate powers of your civilization, build up your military, and also develop your science and technology for your civilizations. So there's many different ways to win. This is a spin off of a 2-player spin off of the base game 7 Wonders, which is also phenomenal. But this one is a little more portable. It's easier if you are just 2 people stuck in quarantine and you don't have much to do. So 7 Wonders Duel is an excellent option to really give you some strategy and challenge without having too much complexity at the same time.
Yeah, we first played this one in a restaurant.
We did. Yeah, they had extra board games, and we just pulled it out, and it was a bar restaurant.
Yes.
So people were doing karaoke, and then we had the instructions of 7 Wonders Duel in front of us, flipping through the pages. Like, what is this? What are these military tokens? So definitely a fun memory of this game for sure. But we loved it afterwards. We're like, wait, this is actually a great game. All right,
and the last one is Carcassonne.
Carcassonne, yes. Classic game.
And we have this one as well. It was created in the year 2000. Ta-da, it's pretty. It ranks number 34 in all family games.
Yes. So we have the Big Box 6. It is a special edition that includes a lot of extra different add-ons to the game. And I think even just the base Carcassonne game is wonderful. It's a tile-laying game where every player on their turn, they just pick up the top tile from the deck and they place it out onto the table. And you're building out the city of Carcassonne as the game goes on. So you are creating cities, you're building out roads, you are establishing monasteries, and you're also placing your meeples on the board. So the game comes with a handful of meeples. I think this game really got our interest in meeples, and we just became the meeple watchers when we played this game and fell in love with the meeples. So you're putting your meeples on the board, you're giving them different roles. They might be a monk who hangs out in the monastery, or they might be a knight that stays in the city, Or they might be a highwayman that just hangs out on the road, and these will give you different points at the end of the game and whenever you complete those parts of the board. So there's definitely strategy. It definitely is like a domino game. So if you liked dominoes growing up, just like Santorini, I feel like it's the modern chess. I feel like Carcassonne is the modern version of dominoes, except way more fun. I never played dominoes. Did you play dominoes?
I did.
You did, right? Yeah. And did you like dominoes growing up?
I love dominoes.
All right,
yes.
so it makes sense why this game you love so much. Yeah.
I think this is the game that really turned me on to tabletop games. So
Yeah.
I love Carcassonne.
It really is phenomenal. It's so easy. You just pick up the tile, you put it on the board, and you place your meeple. That's really it. But you could try to prevent other people from getting the points they want. There's definitely layers to this game, and as you begin to get into it, there's so many different editions you can get. So that's why we went with Big Box 6, and we got a dozen different add-ons, and we just have so much fun. The base game, you could probably do in maybe a half hour, but we have so many add-ons we play with now, our games go on for sometimes 2 hours, and it's so fun.
Yes. And you can play up to 6 people on this one.
That's another good point too. Yeah, it accommodates a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our holiday gift board game recommendations. Definitely look into getting these games for people that you care about, people you love. They will enjoy these games. They will thank you so much for them. So thanks so much for tuning into our video. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more updates, and comment below what games you're going to be gifting your loved ones for the holidays. Thanks again for tuning in. We love that you're Meeple watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.